Guess who? It's me again. But I guess you knew that because you're in this 30-day challenge. Why else would you be looking at this? But hey, those of you that aren't in my 30-day challenge, just happen to be following me on YouTube, you need to connect with me because you need to know the other half of this challenge, what's going on. It's a secret, but you have to message me to find out what it is. Anyway, today, again, stability ball. Can you tell there's a trend occurring? Get a stability ball if you don't have one. If anything, the kids can play with it, or you can sit on it and watch TV. You're contracting your core because you're taking away that balance. So it's a great thing to just have laying around. Cost you 15 bucks. You can get them at Walmart. You can get them, you may be able to get them in a grocery store. I mean, who knows? They're everywhere right now. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to work outer thighs today, but we're going to be on the floor doing it. All right. So make sure you have a mat or a soft surface and a stability ball. If you don't have a stability ball, of course, I'll show you the modification for that. I'm doing this today. Anyway, let's get busy. Okay, so we're going to work that right side first. So what you want to do, okay, you're on your knees next to that stability ball. We're going to lower this side of our body out on this ball, okay? Now what I want you to make sure of here is that you still keep your chest nice and lifted, okay? This is going to want to rock. That's what's forcing you to use your core to hold yourself up. This knee that's down on the floor here, my foot is extended behind me, it's bent 90 degrees. You want to make sure that that knee stays in alignment with your hip. This foot out here to the side is the only thing that's going to move. So you can hold on to this ball. You can put your hand here on the side. Whatever you want to do with that is fine. Just understand that this ball may become rocky at some point, and you may want to place a hand on it so that you don't go rolling forward or rolling backward. Chances you rolling backward are slim because you got that foot back there. It's almost like a kickstand on a bike. Chances you rolling forward are a lot greater, all right? So make sure you don't have a whole lot of pressure on that knee. Make sure that you're placing your body weight into that ball, all right? Now, this leg right here, I want you to flex that foot, meaning flatten it out. We're not a pointed toe, we're a flexed foot. And you're going to lift through that heel as high as you can lift that leg. Up and lower. Keeping that toe forward and the inside of that foot pointing down towards the ground. All right? And what you're working here is outer thigh and right through that glute and through that hip. Okay? And notice how we're not touching the floor. You're stopping just before you touch the floor, lifting, lowering, keeping that chest nice and high and lifted. My chin is not on my chest. Sitting up nice and tall. You notice this ball is rocking, right? So my core is engaged. Good. Take some of the pressure off that leg because I just felt it. I'm like trying to hold so tight that I could feel it burning in this leg. And this is the leg I want burning, all right? So you lift and lower. I want you to give me 15 to 20 on that side. And then we're going to switch sides. Again, line it up the same way. Lean first into the ball, then line up that knee with that hip. Good. Flex that foot, keeping our chest nice and tall. Lift and lower. And I can feel it right into the first 3-4 reps. You can feel it. Lifting through that heel, make sure that foot is flexed. Keeping the inside of that foot pointed down towards the floor. Don't let that foot come up, okay? Keep those toes pointed away from you. Good, and release. And push yourself up. All right, you may need to stand up and shake that hip out depending upon by the time you get to that second set. And we're working our glutes, okay? We also like to call it our thighs. Need I explain? Some of you take classes from me, but anyway, here's the explanation behind your thighs, and that is spelled T-H-A-S-S. All right. Your butt is one muscle, okay? Your glute is another muscle. There should be a separating factor there. Typically what that is a little indention that you can almost place a fist in. That tells you that you're moving from your glute to your thigh. When this is all one big, I don't want to say blob, okay? But when it's all, it just looks like it's all the same muscle, that's a fast. And so you really need to work those outer thighs in order to get that nice indention so you can see where the butt stops and the legs start, all right? Anyway, just a little tip for you. That's it for today. Outer thighs. Okay? Now if you're not using a stability ball, you lower yourself down. Same way. Okay? It's just you're up on that shoulder, up on that elbow. Okay? And I want you to keep that head lifted high. Notice my chest is still lifted. I'm not sunk down, letting my ear get really close to my shoulder. I'm up nice and tall. You want to keep that elbow in alignment with your shoulder. This leg is still bent. This knee is still in alignment with this hip. And straighten this foot out. Still a flexed foot. Inside of that foot is anchored down towards the floor. And we're lifting through that heel. Lift and lower. Now what you want to do here is make sure that you're lifting as high as you can. Because if you're doing tiny lifts, you're not targeting that glute. You're working your leg, but you're not targeting the glute. So in order to get the glute, you got to lift up high enough to engage it. And then lower. Up and lower. And remember, we're not tapping the floor, we're not touching the floor. We're lifting and lowering. Alright? And then you flip sides. So for the purpose of the exercise, you're going to work both sides, okay, before you take that break and shake it out. Now when people are down in this motion and even on the ball, if this gets really, really tight, the way you're going to stretch this is you're going to hug that knee into your chest. What that does is it takes that muscle and it stretches it, okay, because right here, it's nice and contracted, it's shortened, okay? When you do this to it, it forces it to lengthen, and so that's going to stretch it out. I do not want you to grab here and pull it in. Grab underneath and pull it out, all right? Don't apply any pressure, because then that puts that knee in a compromising position, and we don't want to do that. We want those knees to last us a good 90, 100 years, okay? So grab that hamstring and hug that knee into your chest and release. And that's it, that's your modification. So if you don't have a stability ball, you can still do the exercise. Hopefully you didn't cut me off already. Oh gosh, you said stability ball, I don't have one, so I can skip it. Don't look for excuses. You can always find an excuse, because they're always present, but don't look for one purposely. Go into this thinking, I am gonna figure out a way to do that, whether I have what she's using or not, okay? And that's it. I'll get off my soapbox. All right, until tomorrow, see you guys later.